Russia spent 20 years and billions of dollars building what they told the world was an unbreakable air defense wall. 300-kilometer radar, hypersonic interceptors, layered systems that were supposed to make NATO think twice before even trying. And for a while, it worked. Then, in May 2026, a group of Ukrainian kids with drones built in garages started ripping holes in it. The unit calls itself Birds of Magyar. In less than a month, they claim to have erased 26 Russian air defense assets. Not abandoned trucks, not decoys. The actual eyes and nervous system of Russia's shield. Take the Nebo SV radar that went up in smoke near Kamyanka. That system is built to see jets, cruise missiles, and drones coming from over 200 kilometers out. Lose it, and suddenly a chunk of the sky goes dark. Then there is the Buk M2 command vehicle that got hit in Kadivka. The Buk is Russia's workhorse for medium-range air defense, but without the command vehicle, it is blind and deaf. The launchers can sit there loaded, but they cannot talk to each other, cannot lock a target, cannot fire with precision. And the one that stings the most is the strike on elements of the S-350 Vityaz. This was supposed to be Russia's answer to modern precision warfare. Moscow rolled it out as the future. Instead, it got hunted by a drone that probably cost less than a used pickup truck. The real problem is where this is happening. Most of these strikes are 30 to 80 kilometers behind the front line, in zones Russia had marked as safe. That means Ukraine is not just fighting at the edge anymore. They are reaching into the rear, mapping out where the radar sits, where the command trucks sleep, and picking them off one by one. Think of it like a castle with thick front gates. It does not matter how strong those gates are if someone is quietly killing the watchman and cutting the signal lines 5 kilometers behind them. Once the eyes go out, the whole defense starts to rot from the inside. Now look at the math, because this is where it gets ugly for Moscow. A single Nebo SV radar is $30 to $50 million. A Buk M2 battery is around $100 million. The S-350 Vityaz is even pricier. And what is killing them? Drones that cost $2,000 to $5,000. Modified commercial units, FPV strike birds, nothing fancy. The cost ratio is obscene, 10,000 to 1. You can lose a $40 million radar to a drone worth less than a used car, and you cannot replace it in a week. Russia can print money, but it cannot print time. It takes years to build these systems and months to train the crews. Ukraine can build 100 drones in a garage before lunch. That is why Birds of Magyar is becoming a problem Russia cannot ignore. 2 years ago, they were barely on the map. Now their commander claims over 8,000 Russian troops were eliminated in May alone. You can argue about the number, but the scale of their operations is undeniable. They do not fight like a conventional unit. They hunt. Small teams, mobile, working off live intel, moving faster than Russia can reposition its defenses. And Russia is stuck in a trap of its own making. Pull more air defense back to protect the rear, and the front line gets weaker. Leave the rear exposed, and Ukraine keeps chewing through radar and logistics until the whole network starts to flicker. Every choice opens a new wound. Moscow is not confirming most of this publicly. That is standard in war, but the pattern is too consistent to ignore. For half a year now, Ukraine has been shifting the fight away from artillery duels and trench lines. This is a war of blinding. Take out the radar, kill the communications, break the logistics, and suddenly the Russian army is fighting with one hand tied behind its back. If Ukraine keeps punching holes in this network, the next 3 to 6 months will look nothing like the last 2 years. Because once you lose control of the air above you, even locally, you lose control of the ground below. Artillery becomes exposed, supply lines become vulnerable, aircraft cannot loiter without getting picked off. The whole machine starts to seize up. This is what modern war looks like. It is not about who has the heaviest tank or the fastest jet anymore. It is about who finds the enemy's eyes first and puts a bullet through them before the real fight starts. And right now, Ukraine is proving that a cheap drone in the right hands can do more damage than a billion-dollar air defense system ever thought possible. If you want to see where this war is actually being decided, stop staring at the trenches. Watch the radar stations 50 kilometers behind them. That is where the next breakthrough is being carved out, one drone strike at a time.